So this is the question. Who is the new Chevy Volt for? The new Chevy Volt is a lot different in its own respects to the Nissan Leaf, to the Tesla Model S, because it's not a full electric vehicle. In my opinion, right now, because of the low price of gas, relatively low, but the problem is gas prices do fluctuate. So even though it's low right now, it may be higher later. The problem is range anxiety. A lot of people are worried that they might forget to charge their car, or that they might drive too long and not be able to get to their next destination. Sometimes people take 300 and 400 mile road trips without stopping. Sometimes people do more than 300 miles at a time. Range anxiety is still a big problem, and that's the thing that holds electric cars back. My bottom line with these cars is you have to make these cars spacious. If it's not big enough for a family of at least 4 plus a child seat, so you're talking about a family of 5. If it's not spacious enough, leg, shoulder, headroom, hip room, and people are cramped next to each other, you don't have a good seller. The Chevy Volt is a compact car. Because of the large T-shaped battery that's inside it, basically you have to worry about the fact that you won't be able to use that middle seat. Now, you may be able to use a child seat in the very center, but you won't be able to use the middle seat. Now, what I love about this car is it has the technology, the new Apple CarPlay, which allows you to mirror your iPhone. It allows you to use many of the features on your iPhone as the apps become available. But what I don't like about the car is the small size. Another thing I love about the car is the fact that it has a 1.5 liter gasoline generator, which can drive the wheels when you need it to, but its main function is to restore electric power to the car. So if you're one of these people who doesn't feel like plugging in the car, or you find yourself in a place where there's no plugs, all you gotta do is just put gas in the thing. It's a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, and that's the reason why it's a good car. So my first question was, who is this car for? I've got employees who drive 60 miles one way to work every day from out in Long Island. 60 miles. If you're driving like more than 50 miles, more than 55 miles, this is the kind of car you need, especially if you're not a very big person and you don't mind having a relatively compact car. 60 miles is a staggering distance to drive and to have to pay for gas one way. So this is the type of car that's good for somebody who has to do that kind of mileage. And it's a great looking car. And with this new aggressive front fascia, it's got it kind of looks a little like an Acura. In my opinion, it kind of looks like Chevy got a lot of its styling cues from Honda. And I hate to say that, but it looks a little bit Honda-ish. It looks a little bit Acura-ish. When I look at the back of this, you can't even argue with me. The back of this kind of looks like one of those Honda Civics. I mean, if you remove that black bar from the top, this looks exactly like a Honda Civic. The taillights, if this car was in blue, a light blue, it looks exactly like a Honda Civic. The only thing that lets you know it's not a Volt is that huge bow tie symbol, which I really don't like because I feel it's anachronistic at this point. You know, they really need to do what Chrysler did, and they need to redesign their main logo. And I love the Aston Martin-like wing that I have on my car, but that's what it is. You know, the brakes for these cars are regenerative brakes. They have very low mass, low rolling resistance wheels and tires in order to get the most fuel efficiency they can possibly get. Now, the paddles for the steering wheel have the regenerative braking paddles behind the steering wheel, so that this way, as you go along, you can play with the regenerative braking to change the amount of force that the brakes will fight you back. By doing that, you can increase the amount of regen slightly, or you can even decrease it to make the car move slightly faster with its momentum. So I really feel personally the best way to sell these cars is to say that yes, this is a plug-in car, but it's not going to be too much different than if you had bought a regular car. Now, this car right here wasn't fully optioned out, $35,000, manual adjust seats, just like the old Volt, and supposedly the power adjustable seats are available a little bit down the road, but at least it came with the Apple CarPlay system, and it came with that big touchscreen, which I'm going to show you, and show you just the Apple CarPlay features, which I thought were really cool. But as far as driving, it drives exactly how you'd expect a small rental Honda Civic to drive. It drives exactly like that. It kind of feels a little heavier, but the mass of this car, because of that battery, is overcome by the torque of that electric motor. Good looking car though. So I was just pausing to take a picture of it. I like it. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I usually criticize cars, if they don't meet every single expectation. And this car, I have a lot to criticize. As far as I'm concerned, this thing needs to be the size of a Malibu to really be a winner. Why are GM and Lincoln, why don't they just make a goddamn plug-in electric hybrid vehicle as spacious as the MKX or as spacious as the Malibu? Why are they screwing around? Why do they keep turning out compact cars that you can't get your whole family into? Why do they do that? It's not smart. Why do they do that? Why don't they just make it bigger? The Tesla Model S beat the Fisker Karma hands down, not because of its speed, but simply because you can actually fit in the goddamn thing. The Fisker Karma was just too small. I made a video driving the Fisker Karma years ago. It was too fucking small. Make these cars bigger. That's all you got to do. Bigger cars. That's all. Just make it bigger. Is that too much to ask? Just make it bigger. That should be my slogan. My slogan should be, just make it bigger. Just make it bigger. Make it so I can get a whole family in this thing. Make it so I can get a bunch of people who are about 5 foot, let's say 5'9", 5'11". If I can get 4 people who are about 6 feet tall, if I can get 4 people in that are about 6 feet tall, that's how you're gonna start having a winner. After that, whatever you put in it, that's what you're gonna get rewarded for. But come on, just make it big enough for the family. That's all you gotta do. Make it the size of the Malibu, idiots. Just make it the size of the Malibu. That's all you gotta do. Okay, so this is the inside of a brand new Chevy Volt. Now, what they've done, this thing is still a compact car. See, one of the things people argue with me about online a lot is how big a car needs to be. If you can't fit a family of 4 in this thing, now keep in mind, this thing has a 5th seat in the middle. The problem is the transmission tunnel for the T-shaped battery makes it so that a person wouldn't really be able to sit in that middle seat. So when people argue with me about how big a car is supposed to be, I'm simply going to say that a car needs to be big enough nowadays for a family of 4. Now, this Volt, I mean, they're trying to keep lightweight materials and everything. So basically what you're dealing with is a light car that's designed for fuel consumption to be low.
Let me show you this. So, a USB in, CarPlay will kick in right away.
Okay, nice.
Projection, boom. It's exactly how my
so it will use
everything
the phone.
is. You use the phone.
Okay.
100%.
All right. That's pretty
what
good.
else is the better part
my
about
thing
this?
Is I don't like paying for OnStar.
Yeah, you don't have
like
to pay
100. Yeah, that's cool.
You don't have to pay for
OnStar. It tells you
service time. Better thing is if we go voice command.
Okay.
Siri.
Holy shit.
Directions to Burger King.
Checking. One option I found is Burger King, which averages.
So you can just use it exactly how you use your iPhone, and you can boom, right away go. Dashboard is here just like it's the same. You can use it exactly how you use it on your iPhone.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like
pretty
that.
awesome.
I like that.
So that's one of the newest features in the car. There's a ton of safety alerts in the vehicle. Does this guy got a custom blue top or something? What is this? A custom blue top? Illuminated charge port, reflective sunshade. This just must be the new top. It's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, this is the first one I sat in myself, besides the demo they showed us before. So this is pretty cool.
Oh, so they don't have USB on this one?
They have 2 USBs here.
Right.
They have another 12-volt outlet as well. Is there another USB in here?
No, it doesn't look like it.
And there might be. Oh, there we go. There's another 12-volt back here. So this is the new Volt. They have regenerative braking over here on the back. You have a way to generate
just
more.
Like the ELR, right?
Yep, just like the LR, 100%. Yeah. So this is it. This is a new Volt.
And this one's not fully loaded.
This one's not fully loaded. Fully loaded is around 40,000. This one's only 34,000. So this one is actually a pretty baseline model, and it's still pretty.
All right. So basically, this is a car for people who really aren't interested in racing or passing people on the highway. What you do is you get yourself into the middle lane and you just drive. Like when you're on the highway, you get yourself in that middle lane and you just take up that middle lane and you just sit there in the middle lane. It's not for passing. You can pass other cars that have similar power, like little 4-cylinder cars. This is really not what this car is for. This car is for commuting with as much fuel efficiency as possible. So basically, I do like the fact that they have worked on passing power. They have increased its ability a little bit over the outgoing model, but still, the main focus of buying this car is fuel efficiency. So if you happen to live in a place where gasoline is extremely expensive, if you happen to live like in Europe or something, a car like this might work out really well for you. If you're a person who finds yourself sitting in traffic for long periods of time, this car will work well for you. Now, it's an economy car, it's economy size. I really would love to make this a bigger car. I think that would definitely improve it. But overall, it's a decent product. I do have a little bit of complaint with some of the plastic fittings and panels. That could be a little bit better. Other than that, it's okay. As handling goes, it feels just a little bit heavy, you know, ultimately because of that battery and everything. But it handles pretty well. The ride is pretty smooth. And air conditioning, the temperature outside is about 50 degrees. So I got the AC way up. Yeah, I mean, overall, it's a decent product. So you should definitely give it a check out if this is the kind of car you're in the market for. For instance, talking about a Malibu, this is a Malibu. This car, now the 2013 model Malibu and the 2012 got trashed because of the fact that the back seat cushions weren't spacious enough for the legs of the people sitting in the back when the driver was tall enough to have to recline the seat back. However, what they did was they came back with the 2014 Malibu and they had a little bit of a redesign to give it enough space in that back seat so that you could get your full complement of 5 people. This right here, GM, Ford, Chrysler, Lincoln, if you make an electric vehicle, it needs to be at least as big as this Malibu right here. It's sad that Hyundai is putting out Sonatas that have more space than not only this car, but most mid-size cars on the market. The Hyundai Sonata is a massive car. It doesn't feel massive because it's relatively light. But come on, guys. Make it spacious enough for a family of 4 plus a car seat. That means a family of 5. If you do that, at least you won't have to worry about people saying that your car is too small. How's it sound when you rev it?